Hi everybody, it's Oksana, and today I'm going to show you how to oxidize your copper jewelry. So here's some bare copper wire. This one is from Monster Slayer. There's all kinds of websites you can buy it online. Rio Grande is a big one too. And here is the piece that I start out with it being bare, and then I oxidize it in the video to show you how to do that. So this is basically the effect that you get versus raw copper. So if you want to see how to oxidize bare copper jewelry, then just keep watching. So I'm going to use some gloves when I do this, and this is some warm water or hot water just from the sink. This is the solution that I'm using. It is liver of sulfur gel, extra long lasting, and this is from Amazon, around $10. So I'm just gonna put, this is about halfway full because I'm just gonna be oxidizing this one little piece here, and I'm just doing a little squirt here, just like a drop essentially. And then I'm just using these chopsticks, but whatever you have that you're not gonna use for food, mix that up and it turns yellow, and then you put your piece in. So it takes a few seconds. If this is nice and warm, it goes really fast. You can just kind of stir it around in there, and then what's going to happen is your piece is going to turn entirely black like this, and it needs to be raw copper or bare copper, which is what I'm using. Sometimes the copper that you buy can be coated or anti-tarnish, in which case this is not going to work. So I like to make sure that my copper has turned completely black. And then I'm just going to put it on a paper towel. And then for this next step, I'm using stainless steel wool. This is the extra fine 0000. And you can get this on Amazon as well, which is where I got mine. And I ripped off a little piece. So for this next step, I'm going to go do this in my sink because we're going to use some running water and we're going to use some soap as well. So I like to do this under running water. Get everything wet, take a little bit of dish soap onto my steel wool, and then just rub your piece. And this is going to get rid of some of that tarnish and give you nice highlights and create a really three-dimensional effect. And make sure that you do this on the front and the back. The back is really important because some of that black tarnish that has formed, it can actually rub off on your skin and clothes as you wear it if you don't rub off the excess. So I like to make sure that I go over the back as well. And this doesn't take very long. Obviously, the more you do, the more you rub away, and then the brighter the piece becomes and more of the copper color is revealed. But here is basically what you're left with after you buff it. Alright, so here is the piece that I just demonstrated to you guys. I just want to show it in better lighting so you can really see the coppery highlights where I buffed it with the steel wool, and then like the darkness that's kind of in the crevices. It really adds dimension to the piece. So here is the result, and let me give you some other examples. One thing I noticed is this is a freshly oxidized piece. It's been like 3 minutes since I did it. But after you let it sit around for like a day or two, the copper gets a little more orangey like this. So this is the same brand and type of copper, but it's just been sitting around for a few days. So just to kind of give you a comparison. And then you can also oxidize silver and brass. So this piece has copper and brass. Brass kind of gets a brownish gold color. There's some here too. And then silver, I usually wait for it to turn black and then I buff it, and then you get the silver highlights with the black. This is actually silver fill wire. It's not the same as silver plated. Silver plated you can't oxidize because you'll buff away the plating when you rub it. But silver fill has a really thick layer of silver, so you can oxidize. So one other thing that I want to point out is disposal of the liquid that we created, the yellow liver of sulfur solution. So what I like to do with that is I like to leave it out. I leave it outside in the little cup, and then it's usually good for a couple of days. It starts to get kind of a milky color, and then right after it gets milky, it ends up turning clear, almost completely clear, and that's when it's completely neutralized and doesn't work anymore, basically. So at that point, you could just dump it on the ground. I just dump it on the ground, like in my bushes, and it's never hurt any of my plants. So I think it's just like completely neutralized, unharmful at that point. I think you can dump it out down the drain at that point, but I never have. I do know that you don't want to dump the fully strong, freshly made solution down your drain, because if your pipes are made out of certain metals, it'll oxidize your pipes. So, you don't want to do that. But that's pretty much it about disposing of the solution, and that's it. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.